Alright everyone, now it's time to talk about the House Democrats. We're not 100% sure who's going to end up leading them. Of course, Nancy Pelosi is relinquishing her gavel, having been humiliated. The Democrats lost the House of Representatives. They're probably slated to lose 2 or 3 more House seats. It'll be about the same margin for the GOP that the Democrats formerly had. It's a narrow margin, but at least it's a meaningful one. It's not like a total 50-50 or something like that. I would like to point out that they're a front-runner for the position, the one presumptively that's going to come after Pelosi, Hakeemjeffries. Link in the description, archived of course, happens to be an election denier. Yes, the Democrats have become the party of election denial, but they're denying the results of an election that you're allowed to deny the results of. There is apparently one perfect election in U.S. history, and that's 2020, and the recent midterms are mostly perfect. It's not entirely clear whether you can actually talk about election issues anymore on a lot of platforms, so I'll mince words here. Does it only apply to one election, or is it all the elections? Because by that token, Hakeemjeffries, for his disinformation and election denial about 2016, shouldn't he be banned from using YouTube? Shouldn't he be banned from using Twitter? I mean, if you're using the same standard for every individual, I would assume that's the case. We have a mountain of proof of him and many other Democrats denying the validity of the 2016 elections, and to an extent the elections that came before, and some results in elections that came after. Like if Herschel Walker manages to win, they'll probably question the validity of that. I'm assuming that these sites have no problem with that. If it goes the other way and Warnock wins and you say, well, I think that ballot machines were making extra noises deep in the night during the runoff, all of a sudden you get a strike on your account or you get banned or something like that. What we need to do is pressure big tech especially to have some sort of actual comprehensive plan to deal with this as a matter of TOS. It's not really so much about the rules. It's about whether they're fairly and evenly enforced. This has been the big problem, especially with YouTube now for multiple years. It's not about the rules that they impose. It's about whether they actually impose them evenly. Priority creators get away with behavior that other people are banned for regularly. I see it all of the time. Leftoid activists on Twitter can brazenly violate Twitter's TOS. They get away with it. But somebody who is not part of that George Soros-backed craptivistic crowd does exactly the same thing, and they get banned. And it's not for lack of reporting the former. It's not that people aren't reporting the accounts for the same behavior. There are groups of people on the right or, independent minds, pro-creator groups or whatever, that will go onto this content and flag it. It's not because of that. It's because of differential enforcement, rules for thee and not for me. It's become probably the biggest problem in tech. It's not really about the rule itself, it's that it's not evenly enforced. One person gets an outright ban, the next person for the same exact behavior gets a slap on the wrist. Look at Twitch, for example. I was banned off of Twitch inexplicably and given multiple reasons why. I'm not caught up about it because I didn't have that many people following me there because it's not the greatest platform for political bans. It's really more for like gamer girls in lingerie and shit posting and stuff like that. It's not a very mentally developed website, to be clear. Also not a very lucrative one unless apparently they've handpicked you and decided to pay you to create content there. Interesting how most of those people are far left, but we'll get past that. When I was banned, it was for off-site disinformation peddling and for harmful misinformation or something to that effect. I see that same goddamn shit peddled by people that in some cases, because of the leaks from Twitch, thank you very much, we know that they are literally paying money per month to use the goddamn platform for exclusive streaming purposes. They're being paid by the platform, and you can document that they are spreading the exact same material at different times, whether it be political, medical misinformation, wink wink, honk honk, whatever, or something, a defamation in some cases. They are spreading that material on Discord servers, on their Twitter accounts that they usually have, YouTube pages, etc., things off-site. But there's no rhyme or reason to how the rule is actually applied. That's become the problem. It's not the rule itself, it's that they're shielding some people from it and throwing others very willfully under the bus for violating it, even if in some cases the violation is spurious in nature. The Democrats have an election denier as the front runner to literally lead their party in the House of Representatives. Are we going to see the same? I mean, I'm asking this rhetorically. I know the answer is no. Rhetorically, I ask, are we going to see the same sort of vigor towards disincentivizing disinformation, because it's literally out there still on his Twitter and elsewhere, for the 2016 election, claiming that Trump was basically elected by Moscow, that we see towards 2020? Or Maricopa County, now running for several elections in a row. And still, you have problems there. I will be making a new tech exclusive today. By the way, you should follow me on one of those sites. Links in the description. We have to talk about the Arizona situation. Things are definitely getting more dicey there. Just to be clear, it's going to be a fun video. Again, link in the description. You've got evidence, well, proof. I mean, it's publicly posted, of Hakeemjeffries denying the validity of a Maine U.S. election. Denying the validity of Trump's presidency. We see leftoids all the time claim that his Supreme Court justices are illegitimate because he wasn't properly elected. He didn't win the popular vote, much like the Democrats in the 2022 midterms, I would point out. So his court nominees shouldn't be there. They must step down. Otherwise, we're going to burn more Wendy's. We're going to do billions of dollars in damage, by the way. That's perfectly fine and leads to no tech influence at all. That violence and dozens of deaths and billions in damage. But if you have a quick riot at the Capitol, all of a sudden it's transcendent that you begin banning people because of that specific election. Oh my God. People walked around the Capitol Rotunda, usually minding their own business. What a goddamn huge insurrection that was. The Democrats have rambled about this issue now for years and years, claiming democracy is under threat if you deny the political process in the U.S. Apparently, there's at least one election where you're allowed to do that, and there's no comprehensive solution forthcoming from tech or legacy media or any of these other groups to try to tackle the situation that they themselves constantly talk about as though it were real. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a differential there. That's about all. Peace out.